Loving you. Tragedy. When they own me buying, don't start the tragedy. Da 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 da. Yeah, that's right. Tragedy. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you all. It is Monday. That's right. Nice to see you all getting your seats in the chat room. Listen to Cha Cha, who says, sell your Don now and fix what ails your team. That's right. Thank you, Greg. Fix what ails your team. Haven't you learned from all the hot shots that we all went after a couple of weeks ago? I mean, come on. Have we learned? Yes, we have learned. No, we haven't learned. Yeah, now if you're in a keeper league, I can see it. You have some trepidation about trading him, but give me a break, man. Welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome aboard on a lovely Monday morning, and let's get right to it. Thank you all for being here in the chat room, and away we go. Let's just talk. I pretty sure we all heard about Big Papi David Ortiz getting kind of messed up in the Dominican Republic, and if I'm not sure, that's the same place that kidnapped Wilson Ramos a couple of years ago. So reports are, yeah, Papi got shot. He was in a disco, which that tells you something right away. And they say that he was very fortunate. None of his vital organs, aren't all of the organs vital? None of the organs were affected, and he should be okay. There you go. Greg says that his daughter threw a perfect game. 38 pitches, 7 strikeouts, and no, are you kidding me? A perfect game. That I don't care what it is. I don't even care what you're doing. Anytime you throw a perfect game in anything, even if you're barbecuing and you throw a perfect game, even if you take a shower and you throw a perfect game, anything you do that's perfect is fantastic. So, great going, great going. Send me her autograph if you don't mind. Now, so with Big Papi, I just wanted to let you know if you didn't hear about it, what happened, and everything reports to a quick and speedy recovery, okay? Now, I'll tell you what's not going to be a quick or speedy recovery. Illinois, this is what, now I can't say this on Sirius Radio because I'll get booted off once again. I'll get suspended as Sirius and everything else goes towards gambling. Illinois is expanding its gambling, okay? It will try to determine, but at the same time, they are conducting a thorough study of the gambling problem in the state. So they acknowledge there's already a gambling problem in the state. They will try to determine how many gambling addicts it has. The gambling expansion is going to come with a big increase in funding to help people who have become addicted to betting, right? As well as a study of how widespread a problem gambling has become. Yeah, let's legalize gambling and then do a study on how many people's lives are ruined. That it's like, you want to stop smoking and somebody comes over and blows smoke in your face. You want to stop, you want to go on a diet and somebody buys you a chocolate cake and puts it in your face. This is crazy. Look, I'm not a prude, and I know what gambling's all about, but the thing that I do not like about sports gambling, and I know it's available now, not that simple. You got to jump hoops to get there, but still, gambling in sports has the potential, has the ability. There's a chance that gambling could actually ruin sports in this country. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it does. Gambling has a chance to absolutely, especially college. If college, you can bet on college. Come on, these kids, they know they're not going to all sign professional contracts. Get the money while it's out there. The pros will, you know, they're going to be receiving all kinds of, crazy phone calls and emails and all that stuff. So it's bad. Okay, yeah. Illinois is a joke. The most corrupt. Well, look, Unholy Toledo knows that as well. What's safer, Unholy Toledo? Going to a disco in the Dominican Republic, or just hanging out in the streets of Chicago? You tell me, and I know what the answer is, okay? So I'm a little taken back by the gambling thing in sports. It has the potential to really do a number on sports, and I don't like it, okay? And then so, all right, let's get off of that one. And then there's some jerk who named Paul Ladusky. Who is he? He writes an article calling talking about the worst Major League Baseball Hall of Famers. And I beg to differ, Paul Ladusky, but I will say that this is one of the worst articles I've ever read. Now, some of the guys that you have in there are kind of obvious, but you mentioned two guys, Holy Toledo. I want to hear your opinion. He mentions two players, Luis Aparicio and Nellie Fox, as being two members of the Hall of Fame that that Paul Ladusky doesn't think should be in the Hall of Fame. Aparicio changed the game. The Go-Go White Sox of 1959. I know it's 1 year. Nellie Fox just was never struck out, never even swung and missed. I mean, these guys were the hub of that Chicago White Sox team for many years. I would say Paul LaDuca was a useful catcher. Paul LaDuca is not is Paul Ladusky. I know Paul LaDuca he has a show on Sirius now, and I'm not even going to comment on it, okay? But it's not Paul LaDuca. Yeah, Nellie Fox. Nellie Fox, unbelievable. But here's the guy who he says does not belong in the Hall of Fame, and he says, dude, longevity doesn't mean greatness. Bull Dinky and Poppycock. He's talking about Early Wynn, who pitched for a number of teams, and he pitched for these teams in, I believe Early Wynn was only in the American League with the White Sox, with Cleveland, maybe even another team, I don't know. But I don't recall Early Wynn pitching in the National League. Not that it makes a difference, but here's why Paul Ladusky is so screwed up. He doesn't get it. He's just looking at the numbers. He had 300 wins. He pitched 23 years. You played 23 years in Major League Baseball, and that makes you a Hall of Famer right there. Yeah, it doesn't. 300 wins in it. But here's the other thing for a pitcher. In it, right now they say twice around the batting order, and they get to know you. All right. Bull dinky and bullshit. In those days, they had 8 teams. 8 teams. They played each other every other day. They knew it. They knew they faced Early Win 10 times, 20 times, 50 times. It wasn't now watered down expansion. It had nothing. It's a whole different. Same thing in hockey. When they had 6 hockey teams, you had teams play each other every week. And they hated each other. And they played each other. Now, he hung on. I know that. But he was a good pitcher even at the end. And he played 23 years. And he played all in the American League, if I'm not mistaken about that. And he faced teams 10 times a year. And they knew him. They didn't have the analytics and the computer, all that. But still, Early Win, not in the Hall of Fame? Give me a break. And he doesn't mention the Dodger pitcher. What's his name? Who made the Hall of Fame because of, I forget his. Anyway, yeah, there are players who don't belong in the Hall of Fame. But Mr. Ladusky, with all due respect, you don't know the game of baseball. To me, you got your hat backwards and you're looking at the stats. All right? Looking at the stats. Now, the Texas Rangers are tied with the Astros and the Twins for the most American League wins since May 15th. That's almost a month ago. Texas would be the second wild card if the postseason began tomorrow. How about that? Hard to believe, yeah. That's right, all in the American League. Early Win. Yeah, he would have brushed back his mother. Absolutely. You don't. Come on, man. You say Early Wynn doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. You don't know who Early Wynn was. Yeah, and you think his brother was late loss or something. I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Ladusky. Dude. Tampa. Now, some people say that Tampa has ruined baseball with the opener. I don't think they've ruined baseball, but they've ruined the stats. So, yeah, they ruined the stats. It's pretty cool. Yesterday they had Wade LeBlanc come in the second inning, and they say he came in relief. So, I don't know. Well, it's just not the same game. Okay, they say he came in relief. All right? He came in relief. Kevin and CJ hit their first career home runs at Rogers Center. Okay, that we know, right? Kevin Cron, CJ Cron hit their first career home runs at the Rogers Center. That's not good enough to be in this podcast. I'll add the fact that the father, Chris Cron, had 2 Major League Baseball hits, and both of them came in Toronto. How about that one? Now that makes it worthy of the 9 o'clock show right there, okay? Let's throw a trivia question out for you, okay? Who is on pace? There's one pitcher in Major League Baseball who's on pace to start more games than any other pitcher since 1915. There is one pitcher on pace, all right? Yeah, they're brothers. Who's the one pitcher that's on pace, actually, to do something amazing, to have more starts, start more games than any pitcher in a season since 1915? Anybody want to take a shot on that one? And, of course, if you don't know it, Tampa was finished second in the Craig Kimbrell sweepstakes. So there you go. Yeah, that's right. Lou's got it. George has it. Ryan Stanek. There you go. So talk about screwing up the stats. It's kind of crazy. And, of course, it just doesn't make any sense. Now, Dan Plesac, he suffered his first loss against the White Sox, and his first win came against the Yankees. And that's not remarkable until you go with Zach Plesac's first loss was against the White Sox, and Zach Plesac's first win was against the Yankees. Now, I may have said that last week sometime, I don't know, but it's so good that I just got to repeat it again. And it's not his son. So there are people who think it's not his son, it's his nephew. All right? So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hunter Pence, 13 home runs this season in 47 games. Last year he had 4 home runs in 97. We have to go back to 2014 for his last year with more than 13 home runs. So how about that? He hit 20 that year, and he was an all-star, and he got MVP votes. And Hunter Pence is back. How about that one? And Daniel Murphy, 12 home runs in 47 career games against the Mets going into this weekend. And well, he's got 12, but he has 12 against other teams as well, so it's no big deal. But he's played 140 games against every other team that he hit 12 home runs with. Against the Mets, he's only played 47 games. So Daniel Murphy's right there. DJ LeMahieu, I'll tell you something, is batting .500 with runners in scoring position. Last year, Miguel Andujar led the team with 37 hits and runners in scoring position. LeMahieu's got about 25, 26. As of June 6th, it was 25. All right? So, some bunch of interesting stats also. Trevor Bauer never allowed a leadoff home run, and Max Kepler hit one the other day. And Kepler hit 3 home runs in one game. The last Minnesota Twin to hit 3 home runs in one game was Max Kepler. Okay, so there you go. And I told you the thing about the shutouts. All right, I told you that was great. I love that about the shutouts. Okay, so there you go. Shohei Ohtani, all right, hit a home run off of Kikuchi for the first time. 7th time Japanese player hit a home run off a Japanese pitcher. The first time since Kaz Fukudomi homered off of Kenshin Kawakami. How about that? And of course, with the trades, there's a feeling that has persisted